Real talk some money. I like to have that Reach 4K because people hated on Reach originally. You remember that?
Oh yeah, I don't know why. No, I think people only hated on Reach because they knew Bungie was leaving, and it was just sour grapes, or whatever. This game's not even all that good. Blah blah blah. Whatever. Reach to me. I mean, one, it's better than anything 343 has done so far, and I mean, as far as Halo games, it's in my top 3. So.
Yeah, dude, I love Reach, man. I love and ODST because I remember people hated on that because no Chief was in it at first. Yeah. But now it's like people came around. Now some people have all this love for Reach and ODST.
Yeah, ODST had Nathan Fillion in it.
Yeah, that's where Buck started.
Interesting as he shows up again. I wonder if he's the same. I don't know.
Yeah, it's the same.
That's where Bungie. That's the game Bungie teases Destiny in.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah,
but Buck was an ODST, and then he became a
Spartan.
A Spartan.
Yeah,
wow, so it is him. Because I was always wondering if that was still the same guy. Because I was like, oh, Nathan Fillion is doing another character. But then, look, I'm reading. I know this is going to sound really nerdy. I'm reading the latest Halo book, which takes place after Guardians, and it centers around
garbage.
That's not nerdy at all, man. I'm about to read the Witcher books.
It's about garbage. It's about Master Chief taking out garbage.
Okay, anyway.
Enrique, what do you say when you actually take? What do you say when you actually take out the garbage? You're taking out the trash.
I'm like, yeah,
that garbage is garbage.
Yeah, this is garbage. I got to take out the garbage again.
No, he's that book is focused around Buck, and then the whole time I was reading, I was like, I haven't finished it, but I was just like. He mentions how he used to be an ODST, and I was like,
"What is that for?"
Okay, yeah, pretty interesting, man. But
which is kind of why people were saying
what is this?
Locke and the team kind of got second fiddle. Naturally, I mean, you're in a Halo 5 game with Chief or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But I honestly felt like Locke, given the right platform in that game, and if they really kind of went forward with what a lot of the advertising was selling, Team Osiris could have been could be a really dope thing. It could have been a good way to kind of hand over some of the reins of Halo to a new generation, a new whatever, because it's kind of been put Chief's team are the muscle cars, the classic. Osiris are the Tesla sports cars of the Spartan Ops and stuff like that.
Yeah, and now they should have just made it another game. They should have just made it like how ODST is and how Reach is. It should have been like a side game and not a numbered game. That would have been better than trying to shoehorn Locke and his team into Master Chief and the blue team. It's just like they're fighting for attention. And look, Halo is Master Chief's game. It is about John 117 Spartan. It's not about some Locke, and it's sad because he could have been a cool character, but no one is giving him a shot. No one cares because it's like you try to take not that he tried to take the shot. Of course, he's a fake character, but 343 tried to make their own thing, and it didn't work out the way they intended it to. So yeah, it would have been better if he had his own standalone game. But then, yeah.
Because you look at that open, man, because every now and again, even now, I'll fire up Halo 5 just to, on the 4K, just to watch that opening. How dope, Team Osiris, how, because they're wrecking shit in that open.
Yeah, that opening gets you hyped up.
Right.
Until you start playing.
Yeah, you're like, what happened? This game is all over the place. But
where the hell is Master Chief? It's just you literally only played with him a third of the game, and that's that's not cool. I didn't even like it in the original trilogy when I had to use the Arbiter. Care about him? I don't care about the Sangeli. I don't care about any of them. I'll get back to the Chief.
Right.
So I mean, to have the majority of the game be these other characters that you just introduced, bad move. Real bad move.
I kind of you think as we go, with Microsoft kind of doing what they're doing with the initiative and kind of beefing up that they might in some way return or like utilize that, because they have to be hearing people talk about that. Because I know like people have said, like with the dry spell of games or exclusives that they've had, how cool it could have been. That was like an opportunity where they could have taken something like Team Lock and done like a third person perspective team game of some sort. Or like shout out to Sam. Sam has said for the longest, like, how cool would a Halo game be, like in the vein of Mass Effect?
That would be fire.
Right.
That would be awesome. Actually, they should really do just that. Like, they need to take, because isn't 343 up to like 500 employees or something like that?
Something like that.
Look, you got more than enough people to take, say, a 20% of that and devote them to a side project.
Right.
You know, and not just, you know, have all 500 working on Halo Infinite. And I mean, and as it seems to me, it's like, it's not like the game's coming out any sooner.
Right.
So
I said how cool it would be, like, if you did
Plotter.
like a rogue ops, like Spartan game. Like, you know, the Spartans are all, you know, they're kind of about like on the battlefield warfare, you know, like wrecking stuff, right? But what if you had like a Spartan who was like an assassin type, like he was sent like on rogue missions, like lone missions, you know, behind the scenes, like while Chief was over here doing this one thing, like he was like handling the things that Chief would never or didn't see as honorable, but the things that had to be done, something like that.
Sam's in the chat said 343 is up to 550 devs, give or take a few, and are hiring for another 30. Hey, maybe they are doing multiple games. I mean, it's hard for me to imagine all of them working on just Halo Infinite, unless Halo Infinite is really going to be that big.
Right.
Like it's going to be on a massive scale, like something we haven't seen before. And then you got to think about the people who are probably dedicated to working on the Slip Space engine. What's up?
Your dad's in the live chat.
Who's this? This. Oh, you look. Sam's not my dad.
No,
he's a cool guy, I know, but he's not. He's not.
Yeah, is your dad.
I don't know about that. Hi, Luca. How you doing? But no, Luca's not my dad. That's chronologically and physically impossible.
So we don't have like a don't be a menace to South Central situation. Like, good night, Dad.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I didn't mean to interrupt the Halo stuff. Go ahead.
Yes, you did. Come on, man.
Yeah, you did.
Go ahead.
Jerk. But yeah, I mean, I don't want to, you know, that Halo stuff wasn't part of the agenda tonight. But I look, I'm a long-term Halo fan, so anytime it gets brought up,
but it's kind of timely. It's kind of timely since some people are about to jump on Master Chief Collection like this weekend.
Yeah,
and like I said, you know, I was just looking over. I just fired up Anniversary just to kind of see what the update looked like, and it's on point. So yeah, and we've talked about, like, on the podcast, and I've talked about it like with Sam, you know, in chats and stuff like that, how, you know, we think Halo, like we automatically think Chief, but that universe, there's so many different things you can do with it, with that IP in that universe, you know, that can expand beyond it, you know.
Yeah, they got 24 novels, like fiction novels, to build off of. They've probably focused on a good like half of the other Spartans that were in Chief's generation, and they're like 4 generations in. People don't know that. People don't even know that Master Chief wasn't even like the first generation Spartan. They had, you know, a group before them that got kind of wiped out because, you know, you live and you learn. They made mistakes, whatever, you know, and it's just it's a deep lore that they can pull from, and which just surprises me that why Halo Guardians' campaign was so bad. You have so much to pull from. You have so much lore and side stories that can be brought from the books to maybe not done word for word, like almost word for word like Reach was, but you just be drawn upon like really, really good, well-written stories. And this is what we get. it's just a missed opportunity.
Yeah, it's almost like they were talking to like one particular audience. It's like they kind of assume, well, people who are here for Halo probably know all the lore. And that's kind of how that campaign came off. There were things that were kind of happening that they kind of assumed, I guess, that you knew, or maybe you read the books and you know all the little histories,
Yeah.
And you can't really go that route. But that's kind of how I took it. But I kind of maintain too that the one thing that no one can argue and everybody seems to be on the same page about was that the multiplayer was flawless.
Oh yeah,
right?
It's interesting because like in Halo 4, the campaign was very good. Multiplayer was not so much.
Right.
But then it's like they reversed it, and the multiplayer for Halo Guardians is excellent. I love it. But the campaign is just it's like a struggle to get through.
It's very like basic and average considering how much heavy like hitting you had going on in there. Like you had this whole, especially like what happened with the ad campaign sold you on. Like it was like you were about to be hyped. Like, oh my god, these dudes are gonna be hunting each other. It's about to go down.
Man, it was a finesse. That ad campaign had nothing to do. And then they had this excellent podcast, and I don't know if anyone, you could probably still listen to it. The Hunt the Truth podcast. It was like 2 seasons. It's awesome. Like some of the best voice acting I've ever heard, and just really intriguing and really engrossing. And like each episode, like I remember, because it takes me like an hour and a half to get to work and get home, both ways, and I would listen to them in my car, and I was just engrossed, just like, oh, I can't wait to the next episode. Like it was that good. And then it was supposed to be marketing to lead up to Guardians, and it had nothing to do with Guardians whatsoever. It's just again, missed opportunities. Ryan Landis says maybe they're doing Halo Pop. Ryan, no, I don't want a Halo Pop.
I'm gonna be hot at this Halo Pop.
I'm gonna be mad. I'll take a Gears Pop. I'm not playing it, but I'll accept that. But Halo Pop, no. Give me something on the level of ODST. I'll take something like that, like ODST. It doesn't have to be Reach, but like something in that vein, because ODST had like great music, a really, really good story, just no Chief, and people hated it on that, but it wasn't a mainline Halo game. So of course,
it kind of turned it on. It kind of turned it on its ear, because as Chief, a lot of times, you kind of feel all powerful, like with with the Mjolnir armor and stuff like that. But in ODST, like, you couldn't just run in and you were very human. You couldn't just run in and like, destroy everything. You had to like sometimes think like really strategically about how you were going to like tackle things. So that's kind of how I felt. But I always kind of felt too, like, because of what happened with the Master Chief Collection multiplayer, that 343, their focus kind of went to making sure Halo 4 multiplayer was on point.
Yeah,
and the campaign suffered for it. I have nothing to substantiate that on. That was just always like my feeling and theory, and I know some people have felt that way too.
Yeah, but it makes sense.
Yeah, but I have a feeling when it comes to Halo Infinite, they probably listened to all the feedback that they got from Halo 5, whether it was good, bad, positive, negative, whatever it was, and I kind of think it's going to be like that soft reboot of sorts.
Yeah. Sam in the chat said, how would anyone here feel about small standalone campaign only Halo spinoffs? And
I would feel very good about that.
I am 100% behind that. I'll even go a step further and say, hey, I wouldn't even mind it not being a first-person shooter. I wouldn't mind it being like you mentioned, a Mass Effect style RPG third-person perspective. That'd be cool. I wouldn't mind, like, we got the RTS Halo Wars. That was okay, but I wouldn't mind it being a different kind of genre, still in the Halo universe, because it's not your mainline game. So yeah, go ahead and experiment, and maybe some elements of it you can actually pull into the main game.
Right?
It will work.
Yep,
that's just me.
Sam, don't be curious at all. I'm down. Tickle my ass with a feather. Let's roll. Let's go.
Dang, Native. Why we gotta be all that? Native says, look at these hoes on this pan. He must be talking about Enrique. Enrique the only hoe around here. But anyway, let's so is MIA at the moment. Let's just get into the topic. So, like Spider-Man drama, right?
Oh no, I'm here. You guys were talking about Halo, so I just
Oh, okay. You got to get all quiet and everything.
You want to got some lemonade?
Want to get something to eat?
Got some nachos?
I got some chicken wings. Go ahead, keep talking.
So I mean, E, I know you've been paying attention to the Spider-Man drama, right?
Oh, facts.
So
it's hilarious.
So if anyone isn't aware, like,
are you talking about Puddle-Gate?
Yeah, Puddle-Gate.
By the way, big shout out to Kofi, good friend of the podcast. That man takes heat, man. That guy takes bullets for the console wars, man. Every time he does like one of the, he gets same thing that happened with what was it?
With Recore. That's how I found Kofi. I didn't know who Kofi was until like the Recore thing happened, and I was like, I like this dude. Like he's putting it out there. People.
The thing is, like, he's not console warring. He's like, look, here's the game. This is what it looks like. This is the screenshot from 2017 to now. And that's it. And look, there's a downgrade, but who cares what the big deal is?
Yeah, and just, like, fanboys got fanboy. And that, like the guy has the game early. So Kofi has the game like a week and a half early. Mm-hmm. He's playing the game. Before he revealed in his stream that, hey, look, everything I'm showing, those screenshots, all that stuff's real.
Yeah.
People were just like, oh, you're going to take L's. I'm taking screenshots. I got all the screenshots. I got screenshots of my screenshots of my screenshots. You're going to take so many L's. And then, like, come to find out, like, hey, the Puddle-Gate's real. They changed the puddles, and then it's just, it was crickets on Twitter for a long time. I was just like, hey, where's everybody at?
Right.
It was like, it was almost as like, how, like, you look at a Wild Wild West movie, and when no one's around, it's like that little tumbleweed goes across the screen.
Yeah.
That's what it kind of looked like. It was pretty interesting to me.
You heard the wind, like, that ghost town.
Where is everyone? But hey, look, this is going to happen before every big AAA release. It's happened to Horizon Zero Dawn, and sometimes like this is, I think this is probably the only time where the actual downgrade is somewhat legitimate, but not really, because the game still looks great. It's still probably going to play great. I got it pre-ordered. I'm playing it day one. It doesn't matter to me, but the whole thing is just interesting because it seems like we've had some of that talk about Forza Horizon 4, and I looked at it. I even said like it looked like a little bit of a downgrade to me when I saw it at Gamescom. Mm-hmm. And then you got this is happening to Horizon Zero Dawn. This is happening to God of War. It happens. This is going to happen to Gears 5 next year. Guarantee it. It's going to happen to Days Gone. It's going to happen to every big game that comes out. Definitely going
to happen to Ubisoft game.
Well, Ubisoft game might actually have a real downgrade. So,
that's what I'm saying. Hey, by the way, real quick, Sam, what's up, Sam? Sam says, well, when the devs are going after people for mentioning that looks different, we should care. The game will be awesome, but it's a matter of principle. I'm not aware of Insomniac going after people specifically for saying it looks different. I know they went after people for trolling.
Yeah.
For trolling Insomniac about how it looks different and not being polite about it. I think that's different than, and I don't know if they've gone after people and say, hey, you know what, there's a downgrade and that's it. But that's different than I think trolling and the nasty comments that I've seen directed of Insomniac.
I think what Sam's referring to is I think one of the devs actually like stuck their flag in the sand and was like, or like Gandalf, like you shall not pass. Like they were standing by it.
Yeah, I mean, but that's a result of, that's a byproduct of all these people trolling and being assholes. Like this is the problem with console war and fanboys. Like, they keep going at developers, and it's human nature. After, look, man, you come to my house, you knock on my door, you keep knocking my door, and I tell you to stop, and you keep knocking my door. I'm gonna punch you. You're gonna get knocked out. And sometimes, like B says, sometimes there's people that you got to put their hands on them to let you know what time it is or whatever.
You're not gonna take it seriously.
Yeah, I mean, seriously. I think it'd be one thing if they came out and they were saying, oh, if you said the game looks downgrade, we're gonna come after you. But I think this is a byproduct of everything, a culmination of the fanboys, because there was some nasty stuff that's being tweeted to Insomniac.
Oh yeah,
they had to come out and say, hey, look, if you're going to do this, if you're going to troll, if you're going to, basically be an asshole about the game, we're going to block you.
Yeah, but was the guy something Stevenson? Is that his name? One of the devs. Yeah. He seems to have had a bad go of it the past week or so with Twitter and people trolling him and whatnot.
I'm telling you, man, this keyboard power has been dangerous.
Yeah, Sam saying people were banned from Reset Era, and Mass reported on Twitter for pointing out that it was different. Yeah, I don't know, man. I think it's probably a combination of them getting sick of, the fanboy stuff. I know people who, this happened with what's his face? Who's the analyst we had on here before?
On Brad?
On Brad, yeah. Who's the guy like
Matt?
No, not Matt Piscatell. The other guy. Do you know what I'm talking about? Damn it, what's his name?
This is likely before my time.
Remember, this is before your time. Remember he started banning everyone with the scorpion symbols?
Matt
Piscatell.
Z Huge.
No, Z Huge.
Yeah, Z Huge. I mean, same thing happened. Like people were like, "Oh, why did he ban me?" I just asked him a question, and it was just a combination of, he didn't know who was a fanboy or not based on because people were coming at him with scorpion symbols when that was a thing on Twitter, and he just started banning everyone. So I mean, it sucks. I think unfortunately what happened is, Sam, and this is just my observation outside looking in. I think that everyone got lumped in, and I say this anytime fanboys act up, anytime people start warring over console wars, we all get lumped in to the same group. Everyone thinks that we're all console warring. Everyone thinks that we're all fanboys, and not to say that it's not a legitimate difference. There is, but I think unfortunately the people that were initially commenting on the difference ruined it for everyone else.
Yeah. Innate made a really good point about this is going to stop devs from wanting to share gameplay with us because you think about what CD Projekt Red just dropped some amazing 48-minute gameplay of like the not finished yet Cyberpunk 2077. I can guarantee you when that game gets close to release, there are going to be people out there who are going to be taking like having side-by-side feeds of the what they showed versus how it turns out, and when it's actually have been optimized for the various platforms, and they're going to be complaining. People going to be like, "Oh, that one move that she did in that fight in the club, oh, that's not there anymore." Like,
or you can't shoot through the walls anymore. What's up with that?
Yeah, like it's just this is why they like, and I know some people who were complaining that CD Projekt Red did that private behind closed doors viewing of that gameplay at E3. They're like, oh, why didn't they show it? It's because how the overall hardcore gaming community acts. They show it.
No. Don't say hardcore gaming community because it's not the entire hardcore gaming community. It's fanboys.
Well, it's a lot of fanboys.
Crazy fanboys.
It's a lot of fanboys.
You say bitches with internet access?
Exactly.
Wow. Come on, man. It's aggressive. Well,
I can do that. I'm on the keyboard.
Oh, okay.
see what I'm saying? I can throw a shot because
I can be aggressive as I want behind this keyboard, man.
Yeah.
By the way, this episode of Braps brought to you by Boar's Head Meats. Just find Boar's Head at your local Publix.
Hey, how long before like two neighbors are like going back and forth? They don't know their neighbors yet, but they're going back and forth online, calling each other all kinds of names, and they figured out that they're actually living next door to each other.
Oh, there's gonna be war.
Oh man.
True fan.
It will go down.
I threw garbage all over your front yard.
Oh man,
people taking this shit too seriously, man. So I think in Nate in live chat said Kofi was focusing on the negative of the game. I I don't know, man. I think he would just.
No, I think Kofi likes to kick sand on like people who are all fired up, and then when he gets like he kind of gets the proof. He likes to throw it out there, like in people's faces.
Well, the PlayStation fans went nuts on him, man. Like some of these ponies were going crazy.
It shows you that it's like equal opportunity, man. Like people who call Kofi like a fanboy or whatever. But
they called him a fanboy because he just bought a 1X for he explicitly bought it for the Master Chief Collection, and then he even said like, "Hey, when I get tired of playing this, I'm probably just going to do a giveaway and give this away." And they're like, "Oh, you're a bot now. You're a bot." I'm like,
"Oh my!" But he PC games. Who can? You know what, man? This is the problem, man. People are so in their feelings about what consoles other people play. And it's so stupid. It's like, do you game? Yes. Okay, cool.
Right. That's it.
That's it. That's all that should matter.
I don't give a damn if you play on an Etch-a-Sketch.
Yeah. Look, if you're playing on a flip phone like flip phone Craig used to, cool. You're still gaming.
What's that game, Snake?
Yes, that game. Flip phone Craig used to play Minesweeper.
By the way, I am a beast at Etch-a-Sketch. Can't nobody see me.
Can't nobody touch me.
Try, but I will straight fire anybody up at that. I'm telling you, man. I can draw a mean castle with an Etch-a-Sketch real fast.
Yeah, he's not lying.
That resolution, though.
Yeah, exactly.
That resolution.
Ray tracing on.
I can ray trace my Etch-a-Sketch.
That update, though. Oh.
Yeah. Oh my God! Irrelative is being very inappropriate in the chat. I'm not gonna repeat what he said.
Yeah, that is not for. This is a PG-13.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can't be doing that.
Although Slow-Mo could probably sketch one because he's probably seen a lot of them in real life.
Wow.
Slow-Mo, man. Hey man, you called me a hoe earlier. I heard that. When I was coming back,
I didn't call you a hoe.
Yes,
Native called you a hoe.
Yeah, and then you're like,
all I said was,
like, he's the biggest hoe. Ha ha ha.
See, that's not what I said. Something close to that. You may have paraphrased close to what I said, but I mean, you were called a hoe by Native, and I just kind of directed it. Like, hey, hey, maybe he is, hoish.
It's online though, so it's all good.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go back and listen to that because I could have sworn you called me a hoe earlier in the podcast.
Actually, Native called us all hoes, to be honest.
He kind of did, yeah.
Yeah, and I just said, I defended Eric's honor. I said Eric is not a hoe. Now, Enrique, I cannot vouch for. So,
hey, big shout out to Chicken Spaghetti in live chat. Chicken,
how you been, man?
Yeah, where have you been, man? I Thangabangas. Chicken needs to make a T-shirt, man, for E3 that says Thangabangas. Like seriously. So yeah, it's just dumb. The whole Spider-Man thing is just stupid. I'm still getting it.
Yeah. My feeling is, man, it's like you get these people that come out of the woodwork. It doesn't really matter what game it is. Just right now, Spider-Man is the focus. But They say these things, right? Like they want to prove the downgrade. They want to do this and that. Like you're gonna say, man, you know what? You're right. I can't buy this game. This is terrible.
Man, I'm buying the game anyway. And
that's what I'm saying. It's like you can sit there all day screaming into the echo chamber. It's not stopping me from buying the game.
No.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's a day one cop. I can't wait to play it.
Yep. And we found out we got 20 hours of it's gonna take about 20 hours to beat, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. 20, 30 hours. Is that
what you guys think about the DLC dropping like a month later?
I got some issues with that. I don't like. First of all, this is a single player game with DLC dropping. It's not like it's like a games as service game where you have to keep bringing in content and you play with people and you know how it is. Mm-hmm. This is a single player game that you got. If you got a DLC that's ready to go a month after it releases,
you're not excited about that?
No, why would I be excited about that? I spent $60 for this game. That DLC should be part of it. It's a month later. I can't look. If it was 6 months later, okay.
If it's 20 hours to beat the game, and you beat it within a week,
You know, with that DLC, it could have been 25 to 30 hours. My whole problem is that if it's only a month after that the game comes out, you basically, that tells me you took a part of that game and you said, let's just cut that out.
You're speculating, Slow-Mo.
It's just some pretty strong speculation.
That one and done trash, that's why.
But man, if it was 6 months later, I have no problem with it. That makes more sense to me. You're working with additional content. When it's just
you, sir, I think it's very pro-consumer. I think it's great that they're doing this.
You are trolling.
No, I'm not trolling. I think this is great, man. Get a month deal. I'll take it because I'm going to beat the game fast. You know.
So you're going to spend how much is that DLC?
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure how much.
It might be free. Maybe it's free.
It's not free.
It's not. It's not free.
Maybe it's free.
I'm speculating that it's not free, but I'm about 99.9% sure my speculation is true.
Danny said they have DLC coming out every month after 3. So it's like 3 in total. So there's like a DLC every month.
Oh, Bring Harmony just said you sound entitled, Slow-Mo. Ooh.
Okay.
Fired.
I will be entitled.
You do sound a little entitled, man.
Hey, look, I don't like DLC coming out.
But why?
Less than within weeks of the game dropping.
It's not. First of all, it's a month after the game. The game's only
4 weeks is a month.
The game's only 20 hours long.
And that's even worse. It's only 20 hours long, and you cut out content for a DLC.
How do you know they cut out content?
Because it's coming out a month later.
You have no clue whether or not they probably finished the main game and they said, okay, you know what? We're going to work on some DLC now that the main story's done. And we're going to do a strong solid for consumers. We're going to give them DLC because we know people are hyped for Spider-Man. We want to keep those engagement numbers up. Boom.
Oh, Slow-Mo, I think Enrique might be an Insomniac stand.
Exactly. This is
$24.
Corporate shill over here. Come on, man.
$24 for all 3 DLC for Spider-Man.
$24 for three. I mean, that's
all
pretty
story DLC too.
Depending on how big the DLC is, that sounds like a pretty decent price. But for me, it's just like if you got DLC coming out that's in that short a period of time, it sounds like to me that could have been a part of the game, the base game. And I'm just give me the game. I don't want to.
They are giving you the game.
Yeah, give me the whole game.
They
and
are
not like the spliced up, not like what's left after you cut out additional content. So you can further monetize
we're gonna have
game further dig into my pockets. Not cool with that.
You have to mute you, Slow-Mo.
Hey.
All right, we had to mute Slow-Mo because he's out of line. E, what do you think about this whole thing, man?
As I'm a Spider-Man stan, I'm kind of down with it, but I see it at the same time. I see what Slow-Mo's saying because
you might think I'm muting that too. E,
you gonna do it by yourself?
Yep.
Go for it.
I'm muting Slow-Mo now.
I kind of feel like it's like the Alan Wake situation where you could tell they held that content at the end of the game for that DLC. But I'm down, man. I'm down.
Enrique, you cannot silence the truth. No, I can silence garbage.
Enrique thinks he's Trump.
Yeah. I told you I'm gonna. Silence. No, but I mean, you know what though? You were speculating though, Slow-Mo. You don't know what they're doing, or if they took pieces out of the game. You know, we don't know for sure.
If it's coming out a month after the game came out, very easily it could be a part of the actual game and not additional DLC.
Why can't it be they finished the game, they went back and they created additional DLC?
Oh my gosh, Ryan, Slow-Mo. These devs are starving. They need our help. I'm reading that and I'm thinking there's like a little violin in the background, like playing the real sad music. I'm sorry, I'm not I'm not enthused with this. This is God of War came out, $60 game.
That's God of War though. Why does every game have to follow the same pattern? Why can't a developer say, you know what, we want to release DLC after a month?
Because I think that is anti-consumer.
How's that anti-consumer?
I'm spending more money on content that could have been in the original game.
Okay, so then why don't we just apply that logic to all DLC?
That's why I said if it was like 6 months later.
No, that's anti-consumer too. Because why?
No, it's not.
Why would they put that in the game?
Because it's content they obviously were still working on.
You don't know that.
I do know that because it's not coming out. If they had it ready to go, it would be out immediately.
You don't know that for a fact.
I do.
There you go. Thank you, Eric.
No. Don't let some off. You don't know that for a fact, though.
And the chances why the double stand for multiplayer games. If a multiplayer game came out with DLC a month after the game came out, I will be complaining about that too.
No, you wouldn't.
It's not about the single player versus multiplayer. It's about the fact that the game has DLC coming out a month later. That's what my issue is.
Who cares?
I care.
How does it? Let me ask you. How does it take away from you enjoying the game?
I could have enjoyed that DLC as a part of the actual game that came out 4 weeks before it.
So you can't. So you're okay with buying DLC if it comes out 6 months after the fact, but if it's a month, it's too early.
Yeah,
that makes no sense.
That makes a lot of sense to me. That's all I need to make too. This is my opinion. I understand that you disagree, Enrique, and maybe some people in the chat disagree. That's fine with me. I am comfortable in the fact that you all are wrong and I'm right. And one day you'll see it the way I see it. But until then, I'm cool. I'm just like, I'm not going to like boycott the game. I'm still going to buy it. I have pre-ordered the game already. I'm going to buy the game. I'm going to enjoy it. If I play the DLC, probably not right away, considering this other games I want to play that's going to be coming out. And I will eventually get back to it. But if it was already I'm going
to go to someone who's very knowledgeable of the gaming industry, Mr. Sam Tolbert. He says, I'm going to make a statement that will hopefully annoy everyone. Marvel Spider-Man, the City That Never Sleeps DLC, is an example of games as a service, and that's a good thing. Well said, Sam.
Mm-hmm.
See, Sam, like I really enjoy everything Sam said until this moment. It's just like thing up, man. We had a good thing going, and now he just whatever.
Lomo hates extra Spider-Man content confirmed.
You know, I'll be the villain. I will be the Doc Ock of this podcast. If you guys want to disagree with me,
no, I disagree with you, Slow-Mo. I appreciate your opinion. Obviously, we disagree on this. You know, obviously the chat knows that I'm right, so we'll move forward.
I kind of feel about it like it's like a little column A, little column B. Like I see what Slow-Mo's saying. I see what you're saying, Enrique. I kind of feel like
what Slow-Mo's saying.
I kind of I kind of feel like it's like vertical slice like development. Like they have like the main game that they're working on, whether it's content that they held back. I mean that's the part Enrique's arguing that you can't confirm, right, Enrique?
Yeah, like I don't think you could make that. I don't think it's good business to put that out there because then I think people start. You could possibly create a hostile scenario against developers without actually having facts.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I think like it's a situation. I think this is cool. I think why if you're a developer, why wait 6 months? Why not strike while the iron's hot?
Yeah, that's kind of. Actually, Sam just kind of alluded to that too. I think it's one of those things where, if you have people kind of riding the momentum of the game and they want more, just kind of go ahead and give it to them. But it doesn't mean that they won't have more updates like later.
Yeah, that's what Sam's saying. Like, what Z Huge and Matt Piscatella and the folks at Microsoft have been saying that, keeping people engaged post-launch through story DLC is a great way to keep that high level of engagement.
But this is kind of what I was alluding to, like with the Alan Wake thing. Like with Alan Wake, there was like a cliffhanger type ending that kind of finished off in the DLC, right? I don't know if you guys are aware of that. It kind of went. So you kind of had that feeling like, man, these bastards held back the actual full game, to sell it back to me later, right? But from what I'm understanding,
I don't agree with, by the way.
No, but from what I understand from the Spider-Man thing, it's like the game ends, but these are like completely separate story-based like DLCs that are like added. It's not like a cliffhanger ending and come back, with $20 more to get the rest of it.
Hey, let me. Can I clear something up real quick?
No, we're gonna move on to.
I need to clear this up. There are some misconceptions going on in the chat that I need people to understand. I am not anti single player games. Your own
far from it
with people and their opinions out of this podcast that has nothing to do with what I'm saying. I am a gamer whose favorite dev is BioWare, who basically makes mostly just single player games, who has enjoyed one of my favorite games is Knights of the Old Republic. So how the hell am I anti single player games? No, if you're going to tell me I need to know what I'm talking about, when you come at me, make sure you know what you're talking about. That's the first thing. The second thing is that I'm not anti DLC that's story driven. I love DLC that's story driven. Go back to BioWare. One of my favorite expansions DLCs was the Dragon Age the Dragon Age expansion for Dragon Age Origins. It was Dragon Age Awakenings. It was 25 to 30 hours. One of my favorite DLCs expansions for one of my favorite games. It came out a year later. And it made sense that it came out a year later because it was packed full of content. It was almost like its own little mini game. And for me, this is just my opinion. If I pay full price for a game, I expect a full game. Now, I haven't played Spider-Man yet, so I don't know how long, you say 20-hour single player game. Okay, let me play it and see how much of that 20 hours really feels fulfilling to me. But when I see that you already got more story content coming out the next month and you're going to keep dropping more story content out, I mean, I understand why they're doing that because they want people to be playing the game for a longer period of time. But just me personally, take all that content, put it in the game. Put it in the base game. And yes, that's less money for me to pay. And what's wrong with that?
Except for the DLC's new stories.
That's fine. New stories, different? I mean, the game is already full of villains. So what new stories?
Yeah, but it's new stories. It branches off from the main story. I mean, it's not part of the main story.
We're going to have to agree to disagree.
I mean, that's what everyone's saying. That's what so I think that's what Sam was saying about the DLC. Bring Harmony says you're being cheap, Slow-Mo.
Hell yeah, I'm being cheap. Why do I want to spend more money? Like, I mean, how does that make any sense? Spend more money for the same experience. I mean, I'm not saying I want it for free, but all right, call me cheap. That's fine.
I think Sam agrees with you, by the way, Slow-Mo in the live chat.
Good, so. Excellent. Me and Sam we're eye to eye again.
Back on the same page.
Back on the same page. Well, I mean, look, that was don't call me Dan says want some cheese with that wine.
Hey, I don't whine. I put people in their place. That's how I do things around.
Oh my god. Oh geez.
Hey, look. There's no hard feelings to bring Harmony or anyone else that disagrees. It's just that's my opinion. That's how I feel, and I'm still going to enjoy the game regardless. I'm not, I'm not going to be like, they're giving this additional DLC a month later. I'm boycotting this game. Like, no, I'm going to enjoy the game because I love games, so I'm going to enjoy it. But hey, I don't particularly like the DLC coming out a little later. I mean, very shortly after the game launches. That's all.
All right, well said, Mr. Slow-Mo. Appreciate your thoughts and value your opinions here on Brap. Even though you just called a loaf on the DL.
Whatever.
Ricky sounding all condescending.
Oh my goodness! All right, so we have some huge Capcom news regarding Eric. What franchise?
Onimusha?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Now let me ask you guys something. So the game's coming out on. Is it? It's also coming out. Is it also coming on Xbox, or is it just PS4? I don't remember.
No, I think it's all the platforms, even Switch.
I think you're right. I think it is coming on all platforms. Well, one, I gotta say, guys, I'm excited. Clearly, Capcom listens to Brat, by the way.
Oh yeah, because didn't we say that like 2-3 weeks ago?
Yeah, we did talk about bringing Onimusha back, and I don't know, guys. I think this is kind of maybe trying to gauge the interest out there, and maybe if this sells well, they'll bring back Onimusha,
right?
New Onimusha.
And before people say it, yeah, it's remastered. And before people say I'm tired of remasters, look, in this situation, we're just trying to get the franchise to come back. So this is kind of how they want to start testing it to see if people are serious. Because gamers talk a lot of shit, but then they don't put their money where their mouth is. So I'm down. Let's go.
Yeah, I'm definitely picking this up. I'm wholeheartedly going to support this. I hope Capcom kind of does with this franchise, kind of what they have done more recently with Resident Evil. Because let's face it, Onimusha was a hell of a series.
It was. And right now, I mean, those types of games like Samurai and stuff like that are like very like popular. I mean, like next year, like it's like loaded with samurai themed games.
The Shaolin of the Wu-Tang. No, I agree with you, E. There's definitely a lot of those types of games coming out, so I'm excited. This is a day one purchase for me. Slimmo, any thoughts on this, man?
I wasn't.
Oh shit! Here we go.
What? I'm not complaining. I think this is a great thing. I like bringing back old IP. I like let us old school gamers getting games that we enjoyed in the past to come back, and I wish more publishers would utilize their old IP and do that more. So this is a good thing, and I know a lot of people are really excited about it. And I think B has said earlier that he was wondering if this means they're going to make a brand new game and not just do a remake or remaster. And I think they probably will. That's probably going to be in the works, especially if this sells well, which I think it will. So I'm all for it. I hope other people do it too. And yeah, it's good.
Yeah, it looks like some people in the chat are saying they're going to buy it day one. By the way, big shout out to everyone in the live chat. It's always on fire. Our chat is not garbage by any stretch of the imagination. So big shout out to everyone in the live chat. What were they saying about you, Slow-Mo? You don't like single player games.
I don't like single player games, although I can guarantee I've played more single player games than most people. Honestly,
no doubt. No,
come on.
You do. No doubt.
Me. No, I mean I'm playing Wolfenstein 2 right now.
Good game,
not at this moment, but I started it Sunday and enjoying it so far.
Sweet,
good stuff, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, man! And I like the whole recap they did of the first game because there were some things I missed.
Yeah, yeah, that was nice.
Yeah, some things I completely forgot about, but yeah, I love the story and the and how Blazkowicz, whatever his name is, Blazkowicz. I completely just butchered that. Yeah, he's just not. I don't want to ruin the story, but he's not. He's even though he's an old school first person shooter character where you're almost kind of invincible, but he's in this. You can see he's really mortal. He's really not invincible. He's kind of a broken guy. It's good.
He's vulnerable. I mean, it's the genius of that game is taking an iconic character like BJ Blazkowicz, who we all know, like you just said, Slow-Mo, who's this badass guy, just goes around and just
slaughtering Nazis left and right.
Yeah. Right. And if you're someone like me who's been playing Wolfenstein since the days when it was on the PC in the 90s, I mean, to see the level of depth that they gave this character, that he's vulnerable. You see he's vulnerable. You see he's like an everyday Joe. He's got feelings. He's vulnerable. He's scared of dying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The vulnerability of him in the game, to me, that's the brilliance of that game. That's why when I saw that, when I was playing that game, I was like, oh my God, this is amazing what they've done with this character.
Yeah. And it's just like Doom, it's a video game. If that makes sense.
Not real life?
What's that?
So it's not real life?
No, but you know what I'm saying? Like some games, it's just like they have like all this like depth and all these things you have to figure it out. And sometimes some of these games nowadays you feel like you need an MIT degree just to figure them out, right?
Yeah.
Some games you just pick up and you just blast through. It doesn't have to make a whole lot of sense. It doesn't have to have a whole lot of rhyme or reason. Even though Wolfenstein does have a interesting story and they make you feel for the characters, it's just mindless fun. Yeah. Like the guns the guns are just insane. The characters you're fighting are just like over the top. It's just like the games we had back in the day, just like Contra and stuff like that. It's just a game. Like it made no sense. It is what it was. We just sat down with it and had fun.
Yeah, it was over the top. It just you had fun, but then it gives you that element of that like deep like character development that you might see like in maybe other more immersive games or RPG. You know what I mean? Like
Because Slobo, how far are you on the game?
I've gotten to the part where you're in the I just finished clearing out the submarine, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm not that far. Probably about 2-3 hours in.
Okay, so you will get to the part of this game where you'll understand exactly what I mean when I say it's a video game. Like you have to suspend belief and go, or suspend disbelief and go, no, okay, that's what we're doing. All right, let's go.
Well, I mean, I can say this part because this is like the very, very beginning. But I mean, I already had to suspend some disbelief with the fact that here's a guy who was in and out of a coma for like 5 months, and then he gets up. He's in a wheelchair, slaughtering people in a wheelchair. First of all, that's badass. But second of all, like that, come on, man.
But that's what I'm saying, right? Like
it's just dodging bullets. When you like trying to doing turns in your wheelchair and then you shooting people. I'm like, man, look. This is a little low key, kind of ridiculous, but I'm with it. I'm still with it.
You're like, I'm down for this ride. Like it starts you off crazy. You're just like, you know what? I'm down for this nonsense. Let's go. But it's so good, man. That's like definitely one of my favorite games this gen.
Oh, it's probably one of my most favorite games this console gen. B Money, what's going on, man?
What's going on, fellas?
B.
So B, I want to ask you a quick question. I don't want to beat the.
Get ready, Slow-mo.
Get
ready,
I'm always ready. What's up?
Yeah. I don't want to drag this topic out much longer, but I want to go back to Spider-Man.
Here we go.
Slow-mo, our fellow co-host here, thinks that he doesn't agree with Insomniac releasing new Spider-Man DLC a month after the game releases. He feels like that's content that should have been included in the full retail release. What are your thoughts?
This literally happens in damn near every game now. You know what I mean? Like at this point, you can't even really be mad about it. Like most DLC is announced before the game comes out, especially like if you're huge into like fighting games and stuff like that. You know what I mean? They nickel and dime us with all these characters that or character packs that are supposed to come out. They announce it before the game comes out. Look at Soul Calibur 6. They announced DLC characters and they haven't even announced the full roster yet. You know what I mean? Like it happens all the time, and it's gotten more rampant this generation. So I mean, just something you got to kind of get used to.
But for it to be like, okay, let's take example Destiny 2. Okay, so like the first DLC was Curse of Osiris, right?
Right.
That came out in December, right?
Yeah, but they announced it before the game came out.
I don't have a problem with the announcement. I have a problem with it releasing a month, like for Spider-Man, it releasing a month after the game released. So like it, and if it was Destiny 2, if Curse of Osiris came out a month after Destiny 2 released, I would have a problem with that. And that's just me.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a big deal to me. I could care less. You know what I mean? It's content you're going to have to pay for regardless. I don't care when it comes out. Just like I said, I mean, Soul Calibur announced characters, DLC characters that will be releasing like literally right when the game comes out, and they haven't even announced a full roster.
That's crazy.
Same thing happens with Mortal Kombat. Same thing happened with Dragon Ball Z. Like Dragon Ball Z DLC characters got announced. The game was literally out for like 30 days, and they started dropping characters.
This is why I don't play these damn fighting games.
That's because you're
But no, I mean, look, it's that's it. There's still people are fighting game fans. I haven't played them.
Oh boy,
decades, but it makes sense.
Death threats from like fighting fans now.
You
start getting death threats from fighting fans.
Probably will. That's fine. Hey.
Don't go to Evo, man.
You can give them my address. You can come see me. It ain't gonna turn out how you think it will. But no, look, I respect B's opinion, and it is becoming more prevalent. I just kind of think about how it always seems like the industry and publishers and as a whole is how things are when you get that whole saying, you give someone an inch, they take a mile. Where things just slowly start creeping further and further towards a certain point, and then next thing you know, we're doing like the major pushback that we had to do with loot boxes and Battlefront 2. I just don't like seeing things get to that point. So
yeah, I mean, but you got to look at it like this: like when season passes were first introduced, like literally every season pass was $20, and now like season passes are $30, or $40, or $50. You know what I mean? Like it's become ridiculous because we've allowed it for so long.
Right.
So I mean, I would only assume that this type of behavior will continue. You know what I mean? Especially with single player games. If they want to, kind of keep people coming back to them, you'll see content drops like that kind of come rapid. You know what I mean? Just look at the drop off of God of War. Like, regardless of how amazing that game was, once you beat it, it's done. You know what I mean? Like, it would have been sweet if there were like small expansions that came like 6 weeks after the game released. You know what I mean? We all know what the special ending was. Like, if there was some other content beyond that, you know what I mean? And 6 to 8 weeks after the game dropped, like, more people would return to it. But after you beat it, it's done with. Put it on the shelf, wait to the next one.
Yeah, that's true.
Or to that big expansion if they do it, sort of like how like Horizon Zero Dawn, like that the expansion for that was really good, but you had to wait some months for it.
Yeah.
But B, what was it Arkham Knight? Was that the one they announced the season pass for like $50? We can't tell you what's in it, but it's gonna be $50.
Yeah. We're not sure what's gonna come with it, but it's gonna be $50.
Yeah, and then when we got the content, it wasn't worth $50.
It wasn't worth $50 at all. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that hustle game.
Whew, I'd have been hot about that. Yeah, now you get the whole game for like $10.
Yeah, right.
Right.
Hey, what do you guys think about Destiny 2 and God of War 3 remastered being in PS Plus this month or next month?
That's sexy.
I think it's smart marketing.
Yeah, smart marketing, man.
No,
go ahead, B.
No, I was gonna say you get that holiday push with God of War. You know what I mean? You get everybody playing God of War 3, and I'm sure this holiday God of War 4 will be, or the new God of War will be discounted. And you know what I mean? You kind of get a second run at God of War, and then Destiny expansion is right around the corner. You get more people playing it. They're playing it for free. They're probably highly likely to buy the expansion if more people are playing it. So, it's a smart move, man.
Yeah, I do. I think it's a smart move. I think it may be like a month too late. Not a month too late, but I think it would be better if it was if it came out last month, because
August.
Yeah, because then the people who don't own Destiny 2 at all would then play this game because they already have PS Plus and it's free. free with it, quote unquote. And then if they really like it, then they would already be through that content, and then then they could go ahead, let me go get those DLCs and be ready for Forsaken when it comes out. But as it is now, they're not going to be finished through everything. Most people wouldn't be finished through everything to up until Forsaken before it launches. So I just think if they did like a month earlier, it would have been even more effective, but still smart either way.
Yeah. Hey, real quick, B-Man, I want to kind of backtrack a little bit since you just joined us, but it's official. Capcom listens to Brap. The Onimusha news.
Yeah, man. I'm super excited, man. Super excited. I've been talking about it for a while now, and I was actually hoping that Microsoft would approach Capcom and say, hey, we're done with the Dead Rising series, or you put it on a shelf for a while. It looks like all these samurai games are the new trend right now. Why don't you let us help you bring Onimusha back? But it looks like Capcom kind of did it on their own, man, and I'm super excited.
Yeah, do you think this is them kind of gauging interest of the series, and if this does well, them possibly bringing back, kind of maybe resurrecting it the way they've done with Resident Evil?
Oh yeah, most definitely. I think this is only to test the water, see how much they really want to pour into the next game. If there's I'm sure they have a number in their head that they want to reach with this remaster, and then if they hit that, then they green light it and make it probably a bigger project. If you just look at the samurai games that are coming out in the next 2 years or so, there's a lot of hype behind all of them. You know what I mean? Sekiro, Ghost of Tsushima. There's a bunch of them out there, and a lot of people are super excited about them. So you got to strike when the iron's hot, man. And
then what you got? Is Neo 2 coming? Or
Neo 2?
Yeah.
Yep. Neo 2's coming. You know what I mean? And that's all a lot of hype too. A lot of people really like Neo. You know what I mean? So
yeah, and Capcom has to be like looking at that and hearing fans and seeing tweets of people talking about Onimusha, and then looking at Neo directly and going, holy, you know what? Like, we have something here, so why don't we start stoking the fire?
Yeah.
With Onimusha. And conversely, Capcom should be doing, not Capcom, but Konami should be doing the same thing, even though we know how Konami gets down. They're concerned about bottled water and gems. But with the success of the Castlevania series on Netflix, they should be striking while the iron's hot.
Man, they should be all over that.
Yeah.
Hey, I don't want to beat a dead horse. Go back to this, but I think Nate had a really good comment here. He said DLC can be done right for single player games. Expansions are a far better choice. Per example, $24.99 for 2 expansions for Witcher 3. The most worth is season pass in years. I 1000% agree with that. I think that's I love, and that's why when I made my example about Dragon Age Awakenings, that was an expansion, a really big expansion that came out a year later, and I think that's I enjoy that kind of content drop than what Insomniac is doing right now. But I think that was a great comment by him. And also you guys know which Capcom game I'm about to say needs to be brought back, right?
What's that?
I mentioned it. Huh?
What is that? What game?
Don't say it. Don't say it.
Don't say it.
Lost Planet.
Oh,
get out of here, man!
Bring it back,
bro.
If I
had to face that cheating ass green eye again, I might pull my hair out, bro.
How about we bring it back and make it good,
bro? That game, like most games that I can I can fight through and see to the finish, right? That battle with how cheap Green Eye was, that big worm that ran around the room.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is so cheap. I was done. I was like, I don't give a damn what the end of this game is. I'm done.
I know I'm just messing with y'all. I hate Lost Planet. I hate that game so much. I hate it.
One exclusive on 360.
Yeah.
Yeah. That game was such trash. Oh my god! Like I remember buying it and just being so disappointed. It was like, what the hell. So no, please, Capcom, don't bring it back. I'm just joking. Please don't bring that back.
Well, they listen to our show, Slow-Mo. So
let me ask you this, Slow-Mo. The first 20, 30 minutes of Lost Planet, to me, I don't know if you guys agree, it was like, yo, this game is lit. And then
it was when you first started out.
Yeah. And after a while, you like, I don't know, I'm not feeling the same. And like I said,
it all went downhill from there.
Right. And then once I got the green eye, I was like, it's a wrap. I can't take this shit anymore.
He's like, I'm done.
And I actually eventually, as cheap as it was as a boss battle, I actually beat it, but it took so many times and so long, I didn't care to go any further. I was like, I'm done. I was like, because if this period is this cheap at this point in the game, which was like the middle of the game, I'm like, I can't even imagine what the rest of it's like.
Gosh, that game.
Yeah.
They need to never bring that back, or if they do bring it back, make it better. like just make some drastic changes with how that was implemented.
Hey, don't call me Danny's talking about Konami, which we talked about last week. He's saying that Konami definitely has stuff in the works. Oh, they're going to squander this publicity with Smash Brothers.
Yeah, Konami's got a lot of IP.
So they coming back with
if anybody would squander, it would be Konami. Yeah. Honestly, man,
there's no faith in them at all.
No.
Is it Konami that has Castlevania, right?
Yes.
What the hell? Like we're getting all these great games that like even in the reviews they call it's Castlevania-esque. I mean, like how many times you have to hear that to realize, hey, maybe we should bring back Castlevania? I think people will actually want to play that. I mean, they're playing all these Castlevania-esque games.
Clearly, they haven't heard it enough.
I know. Like they could literally take and do like a quick anthology of like the DS titles and put them on Switch, and I guarantee like that alone will sell.
Oh yeah, definitely on Switch. Yeah.
And I don't understand them at all, man. It's like if it's not Metal Gear, they don't want to hear it. If it's not going to quickly make $1, which I know it's a business, like I get that, but they tend to think of it, it seems to me, like they do like all their other ventures. So it's like, but you got, so Nintendo, went to them and of course licensed, the Richter characters, whatever, but that in no way translates to them being interested in doing Castlevania.
I wonder how well their PES game does every year. It's like, nobody really talks about it, at least not in the US that I see, and I don't really see too many people playing it. So it has to be like super huge for them overseas because they release PES every single year. You know what I mean? And I prefer PES over FIFA just because it's a better technical game. You know what I mean? It takes more skill to play, but like without them having all the rights to the clubs and stuff like that, like most people just pick up FIFA. So I wonder, how well PES is actually doing for them.
Yeah,
that's the only game that they release. You know what I mean? Besides the Metal Gear trash that they tried to put out last year or whatever the hell that was.
Right. Oh, let me correct. They are doing a Castlevania game in Japan on mobile.
Of course.
Oh gosh.
Okay. And it's a I think it's like a co-op game, sort of like. I'm trying to think of like how.
I'm trying to figure out how that would work. So it's a side scroller.
Yeah, and I think like 4 friends can like jump in. I'm trying to remember how the game. I had to look it up how the gameplay looked, but my buddy sent it to me, and he's like, "Yo, man, I'm so hoping this comes here." I was like, "I wouldn't hold your breath." Yeah, I wouldn't hold your breath for it to come here.
Yeah, they're gonna kill the Metal Gear IP. I mean, that Metal Gear Survive is bad enough as it is. I mean, does anyone have any faith in them coming up with a better game than that without Kojima?
No, and I actually argue that Metal Gear Survive would have been a better game for them, or probably would have gotten more interest if they didn't even put Metal Gear on it.
Yeah.
If they would have called it something completely different and just used that Fox engine to make that game. But when they put Metal Gear on it, people expect a certain thing from it.
Mm-hmm. And their thinking was probably, hey, we put Metal Gear on it, it's going to sell more.
Yeah, I mean, they put Metal Gear on pachinko machines. They built an engine using a pachinko machine. So what does that tell you? For them, it's like if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. And then they go like they'll throw Bomberman like on Switch for $40. You know, so that just makes no sense.
$40?
Yeah.
You know what? Why am I surprised? Because everything on Switch is overpriced. So that doesn't surprise me at all.
And that cartridge tax.
You gotta get them weekly digital sales, man.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
What you got to do.
We got a reboot Contra request in the chat. WD FC podcast. Hey, I'll be down for that.
Yeah, I would too, man. A little up, down, left, right.
AB, it was an AB start.
B. I don't remember, man.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
Yeah.
Danny just mentioned the mobile game. I think he's talking about the same one I'm talking about, but he said after that they said they're coming out with a full blown new Castlevania. I don't remember hearing them say that, but if they did, that'd be great. But Dan, if you can shoot me a link, I'd definitely like to follow up on that because I think it's long overdue for Castlevania because I like Lords of Shadow. Lords of Shadow 2 is like a little but
yeah, the first one was dope, man.
Yeah.
I was hoping they put it on BC, man, just so I can run through it again.
Yeah.
It could happen.
I know people have been asking for like either BC on that or before BC really took off, they were asking for remaster.
Yeah, they could do a total remaster, just put both games on there.
Yeah.
I'll be down for that.
Ooh, a new Parasite Eve.
Interesting. That could be good.
Yeah. Yeah, Sam's just said that it reminded me about how they canceled that Silent Hill game.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, that's right. They did cancel that. Yeah,
that demo was really good.
Yeah, that demo was so good. It had people like trying to figure out how not to like mess up their PS4 so they could keep it.
Yeah,
they yanked the demo too, right?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
Yeah, my demo is jacked up, man, because I had switched hard drives, but I found this hack online, a way to get it back because it's still on there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you have people legit having threads like on Reddit, like, okay, if I do this, am I gonna lose PT? That alone, you would think we still need to kind of move forward with this in some way.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of late now, I guess, but yeah.
But hey, to go back to Castlevania, I think this would be like a perfect time to come out with a straight up like big release of a Castlevania game. You got the younger generation that doesn't really has never really experienced Castlevania the way we have, but they probably know about Castlevania through Netflix. That anime they came out with, the little short anime, it was like 6 episodes.
It's a good point, Slow-Mo. Yeah.
Anime is caught on, man.
That's a great series, great introduction to somebody who probably doesn't or isn't aware of the series.
Yeah, and Netflix has already approved of like a bigger second season, so it's
coming out in September.
Yeah, it's just going to grow. It'll be a perfect time. Like people would know about it. It would be in the forefront of people's minds. If they came out with a big game, I think it would blow up if it was good. It's probably it may probably blow up anyway, but it would be better if it was like a really, really good game.
Yeah, because the Netflix series, I mean, initially was supposed to be like it was supposed to be just a movie. Yeah, so that's why it was so short. And then when they saw like the reaction, it's like they came back. They split up into two, but they came back. Yeah, people were feeling it, man. So that's why I said it's kind of crazy that they're not seeing that and saying, "Yo, we could be onto something here."
They're trolling us,
especially if you tie it into the series in some way.
Yeah, that definitely could.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I wouldn't even mind like an anime style, almost like Code Vein. Like they went with that style, like art. I'd be down for that too.
Yeah, that actually would be, considering the anime that a lot of the younger generation would be familiar with, that would be like a good artistic approach to go with.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's funny. Like nowadays, if they put Castlevania out as a side scroller, like most of the youngsters would probably think that they were copying like Guacamelee.
Oh my god, Guacamelee!
Guacamelee.
Everyone copies Guacamelee.
Oh man.
Hey, let's move on. Let's move on to another topic real quick, guys. Be one that I know you're probably excited to talk about. Cyberpunk.
Hell yeah.
77. Man, wow.
Hell yeah.
It's one thing to put out the trailer, 48 minutes of gameplay, that trailer in 1080p. It's another to do it in 4K. And I was watching it in 4K and I was just like, wow, this game, I tell you what, this game is my most anticipated game right now, above and beyond anything else that I've had my eyes on. This game gave me gave me that like kind of scratch that sci-fi itch that I've been looking for a while. You know, like I know we talked about Mass Effect a lot on the show. Talk about how great that series is. We have this like open world RPG that kind of gave me some Deus Ex vibes, some Blade Runner vibes. I've heard people compare it to Total Recall too. I could see that.
Yeah.
But the game just looks ridiculous. The only thing that was kind of odd for me, at least, was how they were talking about how deep the character customization is in terms of appearance, and then you come to find out that the game's in first person. That was kind of interesting, but
it has a lot of cutscenes.
It does. Like I get that, but I just feel like if you're gonna make it that like in depth, like how they were kind of describing it, and I understand like the argument, having it first person, creating a more immersive gaming experience. I get that, but that might be the only complaint I had. But I thought the game looked awesome.
From what I understand is that there's a little bit of a mix of both. There's some segment. I mean, most of it's
with the cutscenes.
Yeah. No, not even just the cutscenes, but from like I think some of the some certain sequences might be third person or something like that. I think I remember hearing that. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, like some of the driving sequences, and like depending on the action stats, you'll see like a character in third person.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, like from what we've seen, if I recall correctly, it was 48 minutes, and I think I saw the main character, significantly a total of like 3 times. There was the time that she was getting out of bed, the time in the car, and I think was it one other time
when they were in the elevator.
Yeah, the elevator. So I think you'll see your character enough to really, I think, care about what he or she is wearing and the cosmetic side of it. But I mean, that all that stuff is minor to me. That game looks fucking amazing. I
did like this. I so let me cut you off before I forget though. Talking about character customization, I thought the character sheets were kind of cool.
Yeah.
How they show like how you fill out the character sheet. That kind of reminded me of like D&D a little bit. But go ahead, man.
Yeah. Just this game is the when I finished watching it, I was mad. And the reason why I was mad was because I was like, I'm not playing this game probably till 2020. This is like I want to play it right now. This is how
I want it now. Give it to me now.
Like the bullet time, the destructible environments, bullets going through walls. That one part where
the ricochet bullets.
Wasn't that cool how they did the bullet time though?
The bullet time was amazing. It reminded me of Max Payne back in the day.
You got to do the injection though, and then you have to trigger it.
Yeah,
I thought it was kind of cool how they implemented that. But I'm sorry, go ahead, man.
And the one part that sticks in my mind, well, a lot of parts do, but the one part that really sticks in my mind is when she slides towards one of the enemies, shoots his legs out, and before he can hit the ground, she headshots him with the shotgun. I was just like,
that was badass.
See, that's the thing that was like tripping me out, because I know like after the demo hit, people were. Well, I don't even see what all the hype is. This looks like an average
what was so amazing
shooter. What was so amazing about it? I'm like, if you don't get the fuck out of here. Like, there's not much that could trigger you, but you look at that, you go, okay, I don't know how entitled people are being right now, but it's like the level of customization for one, the level of immersion, for another reason, right?
Mm-hmm.
The level, what I'm perceiving is the attention to detail. It's just like, what other first-person shooters doing that?
Well, yeah,
the dialogue choices themselves,
right?
Like you're not going to get that in any other first-person shooter,
right?
And they said that entire final fight could like not happen, because of your choices. That
right.
Well, that's like right out, like, you know, in The Witcher. Like I think Witcher 2 is like you could like legit not fight the final boss depending on the choices that you made and the way you handle that dialogue tree.
Wait, but you guys have talked about attention to detail. Like B, I think you just mentioned that. Like I don't think people really take some of this stuff or maybe take some of this stuff for granted. But even like the NPCs, you know, a lot of games NPCs are just, you know, part of the scenery, right? They're just there. But you notice that she was talking. You can interact with the NPCs. She told that one lady to kind of like, I don't know if she told her like to get back in her apartment or like to hunker down or something.
Yeah.
I mean, so like, there's that level of interaction that you can have with NPCs. That I thought was really cool. I think that just speaks to the level of detail that this game's gonna have.
You know, I thought was great. Like when you go outside and you see all the people in the city, and just doing like really realistic human interactions or actions, like waiting for waiting to go, you know, walk across the street for the traffic signal and things like that, and just how everyone seemed to not be just, hey, like here's the same guy wearing, like you know how, like, say you'll go into a game and you know they had limited like hours or time or people to make enough variations in the crowd, and you could kind of like start to notice, hey, that's the same guy with that same shirt again the third time, you know. But they all look so different, and man, this CD Projekt Red is on a whole nother level,
dude. And we don't even know, like they haven't even gotten to the I think what they're calling the humanity system of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Like you know, you can do like in the game you got those mods that you can use. I forget what they are. They just call them mods or implants. Those
implants,
those implants. And I guess if you use like too many implants, like it can mess up your character, or they can lose their humanity or something. Which apparently is a bad thing in the game.
Yeah.
So I mean, they haven't even gotten to that and how that's going to work. Like really broken it down.
Yeah, I've been talking about this game since 2012.
You have,
man.
And people, like, you know, since I've been talking about it, like, you know, whatever. Just another RPG. Like, they only made one good game, Witcher 3. I'm like, dude, I'm trying to tell you, when this game comes out, it's gonna set the world on fire. Like, y'all ain't ready for it. I've been following this game so close. Been reading all of Michael Pondsmith's books. You know what I mean? Following the tabletop game. Like, legit, this is gonna be one of the best games that ever comes out.
Hey, do you guys think this is going to come out next year or in 2020?
I think they're probably shooting for next year. I want to say holiday 2019. Because this is supposed to be a cross-gen game, so it is supposed to be like on this gen and next gen.
Yeah, sure.
Systems. Yeah. But if it doesn't come out holiday 2019, I would say this is going to be early 2020, so like March, April.
Yeah, you know, I wouldn't. Although, you know, my initial reaction after the game, after I finished watching it was anger because I couldn't play it. But I've always been of the mind of it's ready when it's ready. I don't want it sooner, you know, just to get my hands on it. But it's a lesser game. If it's 2020 and it's the best RPG I've ever played, hey, 2020 it is. I got a backlog to work on until then. So you know, I am of the mind of please release it when you have basically you're just in the bug fixing stage and everything else is all the content's in there and it's ready to go.
That's exactly the same mentality that CD Projekt has.
Yeah,
they're not going to put out the game early. They're going to put it out when it's ready.
Yeah,
as they should.
They've met all the requirements that they have for themselves. So I'm just super excited, man. Like, I've been talking about this game for the longest time, and like there's so much stuff that's going to be built into this game and so much depth. People aren't ready for it, man. People are not ready. That one sequence that we saw, that was literally one mission.
It was. Yeah.
One mission.
and it didn't even seem to be like a main mission at that. You know,
yeah, that's what
wow.
Bring Harmony asked that was it just a side mission? I'm not sure if it was a side or a full, but knowing CD Projekt Red, it could be either.
Yeah, because their side missions are very in depth.
Well, they said they're going to follow. They're going to take what they did with The Witcher 3 in terms of side missions, and kind of apply that to this game too. So,
yeah. Well, look at the Bloody Baron mission in Witcher 3.
Oh
which is kind of the one most people will like refer to when they're talking about that game. That's a side mission.
It's a side mission.
It's like a couple hours long.
Yeah. But it's one of the best missions you'll play.
It's one of the best story missions in the game. So I can only imagine what they're going to do with this game.
Yeah. One of the things I saw, the inventory system looks a little more streamlined. Doesn't look as I never actually. Speaking of inventory systems, I was never really a big fan of the inventory system of Witcher 3. So
they retooled it and they fixed it. It can be a little archaic and can be like a little jam packed. But from what they started with to where it is now.
Oh yeah, no, it's better. But I just hope they kind of take what they've done, the improvements with Witcher 3.
The
inventory system for Cyberpunk kind of applied to that game because, and it looks like that. It looks like it's a little more streamlined. But we'll see what happens. But yeah, I'm thinking 2020. I'm with you guys. I don't think this thing comes out. You know what? I can see it coming out 2021.
Really?
If they have to, yeah. Like B saying, if it's not ready, I can see them pushing it back. But
hold it for as long as you need.
Yeah. I can see them pushing it back if it's not ready. But I don't know. Like, I think it'll be ready 2020.
The game is playable from start to finish right now.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know what I mean? Like they said, there's stuff subject to change in the game. So who knows, you know what I mean, what they'll be willing to change or what they feel like they need to fix. So that could take another year or so. But I think it doesn't release any later than 2020 because it's going to follow I would assume in the same way that the books do.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I know this is super early, but Game of the Year candidate for 2020?
Yes.
Get started now.
Yeah, just get it started now. Hey, Game of the Year candidate already.
I'm telling you, man, they're gonna set the bar again. Once you play that game, you're gonna be like everything else is irrelevant, man.
Yeah.
You think they talk about it a little bit more at the Game Awards or something?
Maybe.
They might. They've always said that they wanna release all the information in a surprise fashion. So I could definitely see that, put up another code screen or whatever and release something else about the game.
Mm-hmm.
Now, for me personally, at this point, when I'm sold on a game, I don't want to see anything else. So for me, look, if they went radio silent into a couple of months before the game comes out, I'm fine with it. I'm sold. It's a day one cop for me. So I don't want to see. And that's how I've been with Spider-Man. Actually, once I made my decision, I'm definitely getting Spider-Man. All I need to know was when can I pre-order. At that point, I've been avoiding any other. I didn't watch when they had that latest gameplay showing. I didn't watch any of that. I haven't. I barely. All I know is of that very first part where Spider-Man sees all the villains gathered around him at the end. That's the only thing I know of the game. Because after that, I was like, I'm sold. I don't want to see anything else. I don't want the story spoiled. So if CD Projekt Red was super secretive up until 3 or 4 months before the game came out, hey, that's perfect for me. That's less I got to do to try to avoid content and dodge spoilers and whatnot. So yeah,
no doubt, man. I'm gonna go Game of the Year 2020. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw it out there. The pedigree is too strong with CD Projekt Red, and from what I saw, I think this is just another. Because look, I mean, they've taken. You got to imagine they've taken everything they've learned from The Witcher 3, right? In that game, and just built upon that with this game. And they got more money now. They got more money. They're a bigger studio, from what I understand. So we'll see.
Hey, interesting comment in the chat. It's crazy if it comes out same year as The Last of Us 2. What if that happens? Like, what? I mean, I know we played neither game, but that would be a pretty interesting competition between the two. The Last of Us 2 looks like, this definitely already a Game of the Year contender for whenever it comes out, likely next year, I think. So, yeah, that would be.
As long as they didn't hit the same month, I'd be happy.
Yeah, exactly right. That would be rough. What am I going to play first?
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah. Let me ask you, what would you guys do if they came out the same month? What would you play?
I'm playing Cyberpunk.
Cyberpunk all day.
Yeah. Cyberpunk.
Me too. Yeah. Yeah, most definitely.
Cyberpunk with a side of
excuse me.
And knowing how deep their games are, I probably wouldn't be able to get to The Last of Us 2 until like months later. So I would, I think Sony should probably pay attention to that, and maybe I know The Last of Us 2 is a major IP and a major release for them, but maybe avoid Cyberpunk. Come out a month before.
Yeah, it's definitely a game that people will get out of the way of.
Yeah.
Yeah, if they're smart, they will.
So that's kind of crazy though that most people kind of get out of the way of Naughty Dog, depending on when it hits. But yeah, that game can make Naughty Dog move.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, I'm with slow mo though, man. It's like I saw it now. It's like now I'm pissed.
I can't play this yet.
Right.
I'm not gonna play this for a very long time. Like this is not fair.
Yeah, but I don't know what people were, expecting. I guess maybe they saw like they heard the E3 hype and people talking about it, and then when they saw it, it's like just had to like bring it down or crap on it, because I know some people were saying it looked like a cross between Fallout and Deus Ex, and I'm like, why is that a problem?
Yeah.
Too great.
Right, why is
I'm not, like I said, I'm not a big Fallout person, but I can respect what Fallout does, for people. So it's like those are a couple games that there are worse games you could be compared to.
Right.
Yeah. And, there's nothing wrong with taking elements from different different successful games. That's it happens all the time in the gaming industry, and as long as you execute it well and it's an enjoyable experience for the gamer, who cares? Hey, let it remind me of Deus Ex and Fallout and and a bunch of other games. Hey, if it all comes together in a great product and a great gaming experience, so be it.
Right.
Copy away.
Well said, Slomo. Well said. Oh, Gaming Forte is in live chat. What's up, Gaming Forte?
He said, "What did I miss over the week?"
You know what? We got to get Gaming Forte back on because we got to get him up to speed.
Yeah, Forte, you missed a lot, man. Fanboys raging as usual. Master Chief Collection looks better than Halo Guardians. Onimusha. Oh gosh, I can't.
So Slow-mo sounding entitled.
Yeah, apparently I'm an entitled gamer who wants free games.
Free game. What are you talking about?
It's a whole thing. We're not going to react.
The chat.
Oh yeah, apparently Slow-mo does not like single player games.
Yeah, I don't like single player games either. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Spider-Man co-op.
Is it co-op?
Yeah. No, it's not.
No, I was about to say. I'm like, did I miss that? No. It's the whole thing. People think I show a little criticism to a PlayStation exclusive. People freak out. What to do? Oh my gosh! He criticized it. Stone him. That kind of deal.
Man, why people getting their feelings about nonsense, man? I don't understand.
It's plastic. They in their feelings about plastic, man. It doesn't love you back.
Right.
Just so you know, like it's just the inanimate object. So
Because they're crazy. That's why.
The thing is, it's like if you stop being stupid, you could go get it.
Yeah,
exactly. It's not like impossible to go get it. It's not like you got to go buy a Tesla. You know, it's not $100,000 car. It's
facts. That's true, man.
Oh, Forte said he got the Spider-Man PS4 Pro for free.
What?
Oh man!
Can you pass that on? Can you pass that on to a brother? I mean,
Sony gave it to them for free.
Yeah, hey, the perks of working at GameStop.
Gaming Forte, what did Microsoft give you guys? A new white Elite controller.
A high five.
Sony gave. Man, that's what's up, Forte. I'm happy for you, but I'm looking at you like Steven from Django right now, bro. No, that's dope, man. Congratulations.
Yeah, Forte, what did Microsoft give you guys?
I can't wait.
Why you starting console wars, Enrique?
I'm just asking. Console wars.
You said they gave him a white Elite controller.
Yeah.
Oh man.
That was the secret controller under development.
Yeah.
A white controller. That wasn't worth it at all.
I don't understand the code name. I don't understand why people was trying to hype it up like it was something different. They literally just took the shell off and put a different shell on.
What was it called? It's called Project
Washburn?
Washburn.
Yeah. Like no Bluetooth, no fixing the triggers, nothing.
Just white.
Just white.
And it's not all white all the way around. It's got like black
yeah, it's got black grips.
Man, I thought seriously, I thought straight up it was like this new controller.
Yeah, I thought it was too, man. I thought they were at least gonna make an update to the original Elite, or this was possibly the Elite 2, but the more and more I was hearing about it, I was like, man, they're not gonna drop Elite 2 now.
Is it at least more durable? Because wasn't it?
Nope, they didn't make any changes to it.
Come on, man. Especially when people, the Elite's a great controller. I don't have one, but it's great from what a lot of people say. But then there's just, it seems like to break down with wear and tear fairly easy. And you would think with all the complaints about that, they would have at least tried to alleviate that. Not just make it white and say, here, buy it, please.
But I think it's when I don't know. Like I guess like everyone else, like when I heard about Project Washburn, I was expecting something like just different, you know. Like B said, like something like a version 2, like a new upgraded.
You know, I don't think they're going to come out with an Elite 2.0 until next gen.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that would make sense. See, it looks like.
So, Forte, did they give that to like every GameStop employee?
No, I think they give it to the managers.
Oh,
they only give it to the managers.
That'd be a lot of Spider-Man Pros to hand out.
He still hasn't answered what Microsoft gave him.
Hey, he wants a link. You probably can explain.
Yeah, I dropped him a link.
Yeah, I know my girl Ember was there. I'm gonna have to ask her.
Yeah, I dropped him a link. Man, I'm losing my voice.
It's about that time.
Yeah,
it's about that time Enrique loses his voice.
It's scurvy time.
Oh. Oh my goodness.
Enrique been fighting the bubonic plague for 2 months.
Scurvy time. It's terrible.
That's what you get for all that hoeing that Native was talking about.
What up, though?
Oh, here we go.
What's up, man?
What's up, Forte?
Finally ready to go home.
You're still there?
Today was our last day.
Oh, okay, so you guys get all the goodies on the last day, huh?
No, we got them Monday and Tuesday. Wednesday is like a corporate day, so.
Okay, so you got a Spider-Man PS4 Pro.
Yep.
What else? I know you got more.
Yeah, let me pull up the list.
That's swag.
List?
Yeah, it's a list.
The list?
Yeah, it's a list. Okay. All right, so Nintendo gave us the 12-month Nintendo Online for free. They gave us Smash Brothers. They gave out Switches to everybody last year. So anybody that was new, that this is their first year at conference, they gave them. So it's like 1,200 people got Switches this year. Unfortunately, I wasn't one because I got one last year. So man,
wow.
Xbox gave away. Now they didn't give us. This is what really pissed me off. Before I say that, so Microsoft announced the white Xbox One X and the Elite controller here. Like we were the first ones to hear about it, but I was so busy that I couldn't even get to my laptop to actually put a video together and actually like talk about it. And by the time we didn't know when Microsoft was going to announce it, they just said, "Well, we're going to announce this in the next, like within the next couple of days." So you guys are the first to know. And then literally today they announced it because they told us about it yesterday. And, but they did not give us that. They didn't give us the Elite controller. They didn't give us the white system, which a lot of people were kind of upset about. I say, don't give horses in the mouth. You got an X for free last year. They gave us, Xbox gave us Fallout 76, Rage 2, Jump Force, 12 months of Xbox Live, Forza Horizon 4, Battlefield 5, NBA 2K19, Ori and the Will of the Wisp, Division 2, Shadow of the Tomb Raider, Devil May Cry 5, Metro Exodus, Lego DC Villains, and they gave us Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
So all the games they partnered with.
Pretty much. And then Sony gave us pretty much every VR game that's coming out.
Wow.
Pretty much every VR game. Actually, they did give every VR game. They also gave out they made us a custom PS4 DualShock 4 that said GameStop on it, and it has has like Indianapolis written on it for 2018 that is engraved in the touchpad. They gave everybody one of those. They gave Days Gone. They gave that to everybody. They gave the Spider-Man PS4 Pro to everybody. Well, to the store managers. They also gave Assassin's Creed Odyssey, so we got it on both systems. They gave Black Ops 4. They gave Destiny the collection, the Legendary Collection. They gave Spyro, and they gave Dreams. And then Turtle Beach gave us a free headset. They gave us the Air Force Recon 200.
Hey, the headset they gave you, is that the headset that was with the white Xbox?
Yes, the one was with the white Xbox.
That thing looks hot.
It is hot, dude. It's actually really cool. Yeah. Activision gave us, of course, they gave us all their games on PlayStation, but they also, not Activision, Ubisoft. Ubisoft pretty much gave us most of their games on PlayStation, with the exception of some of the PC titles, and they gave us PC titles of Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Division 2, Rainbow Six Trials, and that's it. And then we got a Google Home Mini.
Wow,
that's the list.
God damn, man.
That's a lot of stuff.
It's humbling. It's real humbling because you bust your ass for these fucking, I love Xbox and I prefer Xbox, but I don't let that show when I'm at work. I always talk about what benefits you as a person that's buying the system. Mm-hmm. If you like single player narrative games, I will always steer you towards, Sony until Microsoft proves that they can make something in a genre that will change your mind. And even when it comes to like JRPGs, Microsoft is starting to make a turn on that, but I won't recommend an Xbox to somebody that wants to play RPGs because it's more, you get the same games on Xbox, but then there's more of them on PS4. Mm-hmm. But if anybody tells me that they play online, I don't care. I was like, dude, do you value online play or do you value single player play? Because if you value online, you get an Xbox. I don't care what games you play. You want to play it on Xbox if it's online. And that's normally served me pretty well with that. And Microsoft, they come with it every year, especially to our little conference. Then they show all their little games out. But I will say one thing. I have to hate on a little bit. So we all know Rockstar doesn't show up anywhere. They march to the tune of their own drum. So I was kind of shocked to find out that Rockstar was closing our convention this year, and they were showing never seen before footage of Red Dead Redemption.
Really?
So we actually saw 25 minutes of actual gameplay, real life gameplay, somebody on the stage playing the game.
Wow.
And I can't say what they showed because they're going to release some gameplay later on this week or early next week. But they played it on a base PS4. It wasn't even a PS4 Pro. And when I tell you, it was the most incredible thing I've ever seen in my life when it comes to open world game. Man, it was jaw dropping. The attention to detail that Rockstar puts into their games is unmatched.
Wow.
And literally rock sliding, like you're walking and rock sliding down a steep hill looks realistic, and just the environments and how vast those environments are incredible. My only issue is the way that they showed the game. Now, I can imagine if they were showing this game, you know how we always get on like presentation matters on everything, but I'm sitting there like in this big auditorium with 5,000 people watching the gameplay, and I'm like, okay, it's cool. They're just, they're walking around the environments and they're like trying to show off different things that's going on in the game, which is cool for like the first 5-10 minutes because you want to show the immersion of the game.
Yeah.
But then they keep doing it. And it's like, at this point in my mind, I'm like, no one's going to play this game this way. I'm not going to sit here and slow walk through the environment and show do every little nook and cranny thing, when it comes to like, I'm not here to show off the game. I'm here to play the game. So, like they did 2 missions. They did two full missions, which is cool. But they picked the most craziest, dumbest missions you could ever pick it up. It's like the most mundane missions you could ever pick to play in a game. And I literally almost fell asleep twice.
Wow.
And I was a little disappointed, but don't get me wrong. The parts that were lit was lit as hell. It's like, if you're the type of person, like the parts they were playing is a person that is like sitting back, you might be live streaming with your people, or you might be in a party talking to other folks and just kicking around. These are the missions you will be playing, straight up side missions. But it's like what they were showing to us, I was like, dude, I'm about to fall asleep. I was like, I can't believe what I'm about to see. And that's compared to what CG Projekt Red put out, where they put out a freaking action-packed demo for 48 minutes.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that. Ask you if you've seen that and compare that to Red Dead 2, and which one you thought was better.
Well, okay. So I think Red Dead has a little bit of a disadvantage just because of the setting that they're picking it in, and it has this real to life locale that you really can't change. You really can't do anything to that location that's going to make it spruce up and look better than most people think it will, because it's like real life. You're looking at a picture of something from the Wild West.
It's a time period thing. Yeah,
it's a time period. It's just like, Battlefield and the time period versus Modern Warfare. It's just the time period really changes a lot. I think the gameplay is amped up to 11 just because of the way they showed it in Cyberpunk, which I think is really exciting. I think they did their game a lot of good justice by showing it the way they did. I don't know if the first person perspective is going to hurt the game as much as a lot of people think, because I know there's a lot of people that wish it was in third person. Me personally, I wish that they had an option to toggle it out of first person, because I think you would get a little bit more immersion into the game if you actually could see your character. But the attention to detail in Red Dead, for what it is, I still will give Red Dead a little bit of a bump ahead of Cyberpunk until I see, probably the actual open worldness of the game. Because what we saw was like a lot of like subsections of the game that they wanted to show. We didn't really see the whole hub world. So I think that was the one thing that I would take away from both those demos. When this Red Dead demo, we saw the open world, and it is pretty goddamn big.
Well, I mean, I can definitely see that, because we're comparing CD Projekt Red to Rockstar. These are like, these are the third party dev giants, out there that that makes sense to me. That
just think of like a better comparison would have been, what is Witcher compared to Red Dead? Like I think Witcher is a really good. It's you can see how open it is and where you see you can go, and that's pretty much how Red Dead Redemption is. It's just that Red Dead Redemption is at a whole nother level of how clean it looks. It looks like a PC version of Grand Theft Auto 5. And like I said, it wasn't even played on a PS4 Pro. It was only on a base PS4. So, if that's any indicator, if you got an X, I can only imagine. Especially if they actually go all out and actually do what they need to do with making sure that they differentiate the two different versions of the game. But you know, you never know, especially with all the stuff that's been going on with Spider-Man. And I actually played Spider-Man. That game is lit. I don't know if you saw my post on Twitter over the last couple of days, because it's really been pissing me off listening to people argue about puddles missing. And we were talking about blades of grass in 2013. I'm like, dude, do you play games or do you play graphics? Are you serious? The game is fucking amazing.
That's all that matters.
I played 20 minutes of Spider-Man, a 20-minute demo. And the parts I played was freaking incredible. I didn't stop the camera to look and see, oh, is this the same as they showed in 2017, or is this what they did? Like, dude, I was concentrating on the gameplay, the fighting mechanics, moving around the city is just as fluent as they show in those trailers. What you see you can do in those trailers, you can do fluently in the game. I don't care what the actual game. The game looks amazing.
Nice.
So, you know, I don't know, man. People just want to argue. I keep saying it's fake Twitter gamers out here that just want to argue about stuff that they really don't really even care about, honestly. Yep. But it was good, though. It was good. A lot of the games looked really good. I'm tired of Microsoft showing their games on dev kits, because even the games they showed here, Tomb Raider was still playing on the dev kit.
What?
Forza Horizon 4 is still playing on the Xbox One dev kit. So I don't know if that's just the fact that it's easier because most of them are traveling with this stuff. So it's probably easier because they have the dev kits already versus giving them actual X's that they could sell in stores. So I mean, that I give them a pass on that, but the Tomb Raider looks fucking incredible. It looks great. Ori and the Will of the Wisp, that game, man, the new game mode they got in it, which is like a speed running game mode that we got a chance to play. Crazy good, dude. Like, it's a whole nother way of playing the game. And then Forza, I don't see a downgrade, bro. Like I was telling people, I think the screenshots that they were showing or the gameplay they were showing at Gamescom could have been Xbox One S footage instead of Xbox One X footage, because what I was seeing, and granted, like I said, it was on a dev kit, but what I was seeing on a 55-inch Samsung fucking monitor QLED looked incredible. It looked like what we saw at E3.
Yeah, and and Microsoft has to take a L for not making sure that game, their exclusive coming out, this fall, wasn't shown in the best light at Gamescom. For it to look, somewhat of a downgrade, because we don't know how it was, what it was running on, but it didn't look as good as it did at E3, and that's. You can't do that. You can't let your games that you're pushing, your first party games, not look at its very best. But I'm glad, to hear that, the game is looking good. Because hey, it's probably gonna, turn out to look the way you saw it when it comes out on the One X.
Dude, it can't be worse than Forza 3. And what we saw in games kind of looked worse than Forza 3.
Yes,
Forza 3 brought 4K on Xbox One X. So I don't know what. That's why I was sitting there listening. It's like, dude, they had to be showing this on the S. This couldn't be X gameplay because it looks worse than the Xbox than Forza 3, Horizon 3. I couldn't understand. But I don't know what are you guys mostly looking forward to? That's the biggest thing.
Cyberpunk.
Man, Cyberpunk, man. Luca called me when she saw that because she's the one that told me about it, because I was in a meeting when they released the trailer. And I said, Luca called me, and I texted her. I said, what's going on? I'm in a meeting. She's like, dog, did you see? You got to go see the Cyberpunk trailer. So when I got out the meeting, I went and literally watched it while I was on lunch. And I was like, oh, man, this is something.
Yeah, it looked awesome. Yeah, no doubt.
This is something.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it was it was fun. And Sony ain't giving up on those VR games. People keep saying that it's not a lot of VR games being developed. I probably saw 7 or 8, like especially that if you don't know about that Tetris effects, Jesus, it's like a whole nother way of playing Tetris.
Is that legit? I remember
it's
people,
legit.
People was hating, man.
People were hating on
early.
No, it's legit. True. You put that it's like watching it on a screen, it looks like Tetris with like a little warp effect to it because you're looking at it on the screen. You put a pair of VR headphones on and a headset, it's a whole nother world. Tetris VR, Tetris effects is going to be amazing. People laugh at that game Beat Savers, where you going up, do music to the beat and you're cutting the things with the little lightsabers and stuff. Is the most addicting game I probably played here at conference. Really? A VR game was probably that addicting. I literally sat there for like probably 45 minutes playing that game just because it's literally got you swinging at the beat, going with the music. You got to duck and dodge the little obstacles as you're doing it and stuff. It is so fun, dude. And that's all that matters with VR. It doesn't matter if it's this AAA game. Does it hold your attention long enough to say, hey, that was worth the 45 minutes to an hour that I put into it? So it's
nice, man.
You got to try the stuff. That's all I always tell you. Get out to these little events if you can try little things like that. But I told Luca I would bring a field report back for all the stuff that I saw, and I'm not gonna lie. Am I super excited for a bunch of games? No. I mean, it kind of gets to a point where so many games are rinse and repeat. Like Call of Duty. Yeah, I'm interested. The blackout mode looks really cool. We saw a little bit more than they showed before, but we haven't seen like actual in-game gameplay for it. We just saw like a bunch of, they put like tiles up with them showing, like going through the environments and stuff. Battlefield 5 looks incredible. It looks drop dead gorgeous. We saw a lot of the did they finally announce what the actual mode for what they're calling their mode for Battle Royale?
I don't think so. I don't think they haven't made it official yet.
Oh, they have. Okay, they told us what it was, so I'm not gonna say. But it's pretty easy if you know what the Ring of Fire is. Just think of things that have fire in it, you'll come up with it. It'll be pretty easy for you to pick up on. But it is 4-player co-op. It's 4-player Battle Royale. 4-player team Battle Royale. And you could do duels, you could do singles.
What's the max number of players? I know 4 players for your team, but what's the max number of people all
they didn't say. That was one thing and I don't know if that was an oversight because they really didn't mention that part to us. They just said you could do 4-player co-op, 4-player team, duels, or single. I mean, traditionally a Battlefield map can get up to 128 players, so it could be capped at 80. I mean, but they did say it's the biggest Battlefield map they ever made. And it is, and all the buildings are destructible. So the trailer you see where the fire is coming in and destroying buildings, that is legit. Everything is destructible. The firestorm literally destroys everything as it comes into the circle.
Yeah.
And that was, for the little parts we saw, that was really, really cool. And then they showed a little bit of Fallout 76, which is pretty much nothing new. It's pretty much the same thing they showed before. Outside of that, nothing else really caught my eye. I mean, Division. They talked about some stuff in the Division. So you'll be happy with some of the stuff they're doing in that game. I will tell you that they literally told us we couldn't say because they have a press release that's going out next week.
Okay.
That they're going to be talking about some stuff that they're doing in the Division. So
I hope they're adding with that press release some retractions.
You talking about corrections, buying the weapon slots and stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're talking about some of that stuff, and then of course, I mean, you already know all the stuff with Destiny. That was pretty big all this week. All the stuff they've been talking about with that game. And
was that playable there for you?
Yes, I did play. I played Gambit, and I have my laptop here too, so I've been able to play the 2.0 update because the weapon slot changes are in there. But I did play Gambit, and Gambit is the truth. It is amazing. It is. If you are a person that doesn't like the PvP side of the game that much, but you like the PvE side, you probably will end up liking Gambit because it gives you the opportunity to do exactly what you want to do in the game, but still have that flair of going up against other players. And only one player can evade another team at a time, and you have to stack up votes to actually do it. So I really think that game mode is going to I think it's going to hurt PvP in the end, because I think that game mode is probably more fun than the normal PvP. It's what Halo. It's what War games. What's the game for? Was it Warzone?
Warzone.
Yeah, Warzone. It's what Warzone should be. A little bit. I mean, but on a bigger scale, because Destiny has it on like a very small scale compared to what Warzone is. But I think they took the idea of Warzone and just perfected it down to a smaller level where Halo hasn't really focused on it as much. But outside of that, though, it was really, really cool. All the stuff that they showed.
Nice.
So, all right, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's nice, man.
I'm losing my voice, so I really can't talk. But Forte, man, thanks for.
What'd you say, Bill Clinton?
Yeah. Relations with that woman, Miss Lewinsky. Oh. Hold on. Oh my God.
Enrique died on the podcast.
No, but Forte, man, thanks for sharing that some of the experiences you had, man. Appreciate it,
man.
But
man. I'm definitely here for you.
No, definitely appreciate it, man. Well, Forte, we got to catch up, man, because I gotta talk to you about your boy Slow Mo, man. He's catching L's left and right.
Hey, look, I don't catch no L's. Enrique over here imagining and fabricating L's.
Well, Slow Mo told me that he always giving L's now instead of taking them. So I don't know who to believe anymore.
Jamie Forte, you know him.
I know him. Yeah, you're right.
Look, I give L's like that dude who shot Ricky in Boys in the Hood, man. Accurate shooting with a sawed-off double-barrel shotgun.
on that note, we're
60 yards away.
On that note, we're the 2-hour mark. We're going to wrap up the show. Forte, man, thank you again, man, for hopping on at the tail end of the show and giving us an update on some of the games you got to try out. Man. Definitely appreciate it.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so big shout out to everyone in the live chat. Sorry, I'm losing my voice, but big shout out to everyone in the live chat. Thanks for stopping by, and we'll be back next Wednesday, I think, unless my wife goes into labor.
Oh, shit, yeah, that's right. I forgot about that, baby.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
No, thank you, man. If she doesn't go into labor, we are going to have a guest on next Wednesday. So, a special guest. I'll make that announcement later on in the week.
If you go in labor, you might lose your voice all the way.
Yeah, I might.
Yeah, that's cool. I forgot all about that.
Yeah, man. I got lots.
A boy or a girl?
A boy.
Oh shit.
Yeah, got a lot going on, man.
You about to get those boy blues.
Yeah.
That's what I'm praying for.
So, all right, everyone. Thanks for stopping by. We'll be back next Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Slow-mo catches L's. Peace.
Oh, man.